Well, it's been a while, over a month in fact, since my last commentary, and that's due to a number of reasons which I won't go into too much detail to, but I've been busy with work, family, been on holiday, and generally just been playing other games. The gameplay in the background is my highest kill streak, which is 83, and actually ends up being 83 to 1. It probably should have been a flawless gameplay, but I got too cocky in the end and I tried rushing their spawn and got melted. But in today's video, I just want to talk about my final thoughts and review on Advanced Warfare multiplayer, and I'm going to go from the start. I was lucky enough to play the game early at the London EXPO in September with a lot of other people amongst some well-known YouTubers. I was actually playing with and against Fearcrads, Benny Central was there amongst a few others, but right from the start I could see where there may be one or two problems. First off was Blast Suppressor, a brand new perk which keeps you off the minimap. I equipped this, but a lot of people didn't, and you could see the ping all over the minimaps, and I didn't think it was right that you were being punished for moving if you weren't using it. Another thing was the EXO abilities. At the time it wasn't a well-known fact or public knowledge, but I noticed there was no recharging of the abilities. They were a one-time use only, and I thought that would be a waste of a point, especially if you're a decent player who would stay alive long enough. I personally thought that maybe these should slightly recharge with each kill, or maybe every 2 to 3 kills to make them worthwhile, but this wasn't addressed, and to this day you don't see many people using the abilities in a public setting. The major issue for me at the time was the score system. I went on an 11 kill streak in uplink and I didn't even get my upgraded UAV. An 11 kill streak, which gets you the maximum reward in Black Ops 1, gets you the Chopper AC-130 in Modern Warfare 2, and the VSAT Escort Drone and Chopper in Black Ops 2, and I didn't even get a UAV. You would need to go on something like a 32 kill streak to earn a fully upgraded Paladin, which was, a bit over the top. But this was addressed later on, although I still don't understand why capturing a home flag in Domination was worth 200 points. So whilst I had my concerns, the game played well. It was on a LAN connection, so connection was obviously flawless. People were having fun, all different guns were being used, and I generally thought that with a few tweaks it could potentially be a great game. Remember though, this wasn't the final build, so we didn't have everything available to us, and because we only had about 20 seconds or so to select our class, it was difficult to go through every perk, weapon and all the attachments. But fast forward until now, and it's pretty evident what the pros and cons of the game are. I don't want this to be a completely negative commentary, so I want to talk about what I liked about Advanced Warfare. Firstly, no camping equipment, gone are the shock charges, claymores and bouncing beddies. And you've got those drones, but they don't really do anything, they're not very effective. And with no camping tools, the game moves faster and you don't have to worry about flanking an opponent only to eat a face full of claymore. No tactical insertions was obviously a great thing as well. I really like the double tap reload idea, which would make you drop your whole clip but you would reload faster. And yeah, it was glitched at launch, but I thought it was a decent little addition. I thought that having a limited sprint was also a great idea. I hated the fact in older games you could only run a few feet without having your soldiers stop unless you equipped Marathon. And I also thought no full damage was a nice entry. I thought it was a bit retarded where you have been shot a few times and you fall off a ledge which is like 5 foot high and then you die from the full damage. Having a double hit marker for the headshot was also a cool little feature. Uplinking is a ton of fun to play, much more enjoyable to me than capture the flag. Some very fast play in the game mode, and I'm not sure how it would work without the EXO movements, but it's fun nonetheless. Custom Scorestreaks is an idea I have wanted ever since Black Ops 2, and I was very happy about this, but whilst this is a positive, I also feel it has its negative effects. For me personally, I feel the streaks when they were fully upgraded should have been the original base streaks, and I'll go into a couple of examples. Like, first off, you've got the Vulcan. Without any modules, it literally has no blast radius and only lasts something like 2 to 3 seconds, and that's it, the streak's over. For me, it probably should have been, well, it should have had a bigger blast radius, which is a module as we know, and should have at least have double the time. Upgrades then could have been like second and third blast, extra time and the light show. The Paladin was basically a reversed and nerfed AC-130. Again, I feel it should have already been equipped with the rockets and the cannon, and modules could have been like add on a quicker cooldown time, a bigger blast radius for the rockets on impacts, extra time, extra flares. You've got the manual warbird, which is hopeless. It overheats within seconds and takes what seems 3 to 5 hit markers to kill someone. If it's going to overheat so quickly, it shouldn't take as many hits to kill someone, or if it's going to overheat so quickly, it should only take 2 or 3 hits to kill an enemy. I could go on and on about the streaks, but I feel you understand where I'm coming from, and the streaks which are nerfed anyway are made all the more terrible by the awful perk balance. honestly do feel this is the weakest perk selections we've had in any Call of Duty. Now, I never use perks such as Ghost or Blind Eye because I feel there are superior perks. In Modern Warfare 3 I was a sleight of hand scavenger guy instead of Blind Eye. In Black Ops 2 I was a hardline and flak jacket user instead of Ghost and Blind Eye. In Call of Duty Ghosts it was different, you could use any perks, but again, there was no need for Blind Eye or Ghosts. But in Advanced Warfare, why use anything else other than low profile in the tier 1 selection? You got lightweight, but the exo movement is so fast there isn't real need for it. You have overcharged, but not many players use exo abilities as they're a waste of a point and have limited use. Then you got danger close, but again, like the exo abilities, not many people use grenades as they are a one-time use. And then you got flak jacket, which is basically the same as danger close, you know, as in not many people use grenades, so you don't really need to equip it. Flak jacket and danger close may only be viable in something like momentum where it takes a long time to capture the objective, but even in domination or hardpoint you don't really need these perks. The explosives aren't that powerful anyway, so you can survive a lot of explosions without a flak jacket. And then you got perk 2. Peripherals is basically just the COD Ghost minimap with takedown built in. No one used takedown in Call of Duty Ghosts. Cold Blooded, which makes you immune to threat grenades, which again no one uses. The target enhancer, which no one uses, so why would you equip this perk? Then you've got Fast Hands. As I said before, grenades are rarely used, not many people use the exo abilities for the faster use option, and it also lets you reload on the run. Again, no real use. Gung Ho, which lets you shoot while sprinting but gives you terrible hip spread. It can literally take 3 to 4 bursts with the TAC 19 to kill someone at close range. So yeah, again, another useless perk. So why would you use anything else than Blind Eye? A perk which keeps you hidden from all kill streaks. How did Sledgehammer go backwards here? Blind Eye was split in Black Ops 2 where it kept you hidden from AI streaks, and then Cold Blooded kept you hidden from their manual streaks. And in Advanced Warfare low profile, you don't even have to be moving to be hidden from the radar. Again, something that Black Ops 2 absolutely nailed. Yet in Perk 3, you're punished for moving if you're not using a Blast Suppressor. It's a necessary perk if you're playing smart players. It's the same with Toughness, you need it against the stronger players. If you're up against weaker opponents, you can exchange one of those 2 perks for Scavenger, but then you are left with Hardwired, which can be of use for the system hack spam, but if you're getting consistently hacked, it's likely you're up against decent players, so you'd be really nerfing yourself if you give up Blast Suppressor or Toughness to use that. Lastly, poor old Hardline, a completely redundant perk. One of my favourite perks which I use in every Call of Duty has never been picked by me once in Advanced Warfare. The streaks aren't worth getting to use this perk, and it's vastly weaker than any other perk in the same tier. But I may be wrong, but I'm guessing that most people's class setups do consist of low profile, Blind Eye, Blast Suppressor and Toughness. Maybe 1 or 2 alterations to perk 3, and possibly some people using peripherals instead of Blind Eye if they're up against some clueless guys who can't get any kind of streak. The wildcards are basically copy and paste from Black Ops 2 apart from the streaker, and you know, if you're lucky enough to go against guys who aren't smart enough to use Blind Eye or Ghost, it's definitely fun to use a fully upgraded UAV or the Assault Drone AI Warbird and the upgraded Paladin. But I haven't played in a good few months, but the last time I played the guns were heavily unbalanced, where if you weren't using the BAL or the ASM-1 you were literally at a disadvantage, so obviously some tuning needed to be done for the weapons. The skill based matchmaking was the major downfall, and if I talk about that, this video will go on for about another 5-10 minutes, so I may or may not talk about that in another video, but it seems that, well, it seems it's been done to death anyway, but we know the problem with that, and whilst this gameplay shows me doing very well, I would literally have to go through 10 lobbies plus to find something like this. This isn't a reverse boosted account and actually has around a 3 KD, which you guys can check out my gamertag on the Advanced Warfare app if you wish. But the guys I was playing were actually American in this game, and that's just an example of the matchmaking. But there are ways of getting these lobbies without using a modded account, but they can take a while to find. I'm not going to end on a negative though. I thought a lot of the maps were enjoyable to play, with the exception of 1 or 2 as per every COD. They all looked really colourful and bright, which is a good thing, and whilst I thought the maps were horrible for TDM or Kill Confirmed, they play very well for the objective game modes, and I quite enjoyed playing games like Domination on Soda, like Uplink on Retreat and Terrace, like Hardpoint on Comeback and Detroit. Personally, I had no problem with the double jump. Maybe the exo dashing made areas of the map accessible a little too easily, so I can see how some maps could feel clustered with the quick movements and feel like you're constantly being shot in the back. If the maps were not as easily accessible with the exo suit, then we may have seen more of a smoother gameplay overall. So with that, I think I've covered pretty much everything. If I had to give this a rating out of 10, I would give it a above average score, say 5.5 out of 10. There's some nice elements, but I think the game could have been so much more if there were tweaks to perk balance, kill streaks, guns, and obviously the matchmaking. So although Sledgehammer's inexperience of making a Call of Duty from scratch showed, it wasn't the worst COD game to date. But that's the end of the video, guys. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.
Yep. No, I didn't get it. Who was in the Warbird? Blast.
Smash him. 21.
Holy crap, who had 83 kills and one death?